All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually execute the trade bracket strategy on the charts. Okay, so we are finally going to go to the charts and I'll show you how you can take your trades on the chart. Okay, but before that, let's do a quick reminder of the steps. Okay, remember, step one, you start on a higher time frame. That is, you can start on a 4-hour daily or even way above, but remember, the higher you go, the more time you will have to wait for the setups to form. The reason why we start on a higher time frame is because we want to know the directional bias. Okay, then step two, we look for a break of a high or low on a higher time frame. Okay, all right, so then step three, after getting a break, okay, then you go to the lower time frame, which will be the 15-minute, and mark the market structure as price is pulling back. And the market structure points we shall be interested in will be the higher lows or lower highs. Okay, for this strategy, okay, we shall only be focusing on the higher lows or lower highs. Okay, then step four, you wait for a break of market structure. Okay, that is the higher lows or lower highs. Okay, then step five, you draw a trade bracket and wait for price to get back to the trade bracket and execute a trade. All right, so keep these steps in your mind because we're going to go to the chart and I'm going to show you how you can execute this strategy, okay, by taking your trades. All right, so see you in the chart. All right, okay, so we're here on the charts. I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and execute your trades using the trade bracket strategy. Okay, but before that, the two disclaimers that I want to make. One, trading is very risky and you can lose a lot of money. All right, so this is not financial advice. Trade at your own risk. Okay, then the second disclaimer is I don't do investments, I don't do account management. I'll never inbox anybody asking for money, so be aware of scammers. Okay, all right, so now with that being said, let us start. So this right here is the Trading View website or the Trading View platform. Okay, the online platform. All right, so and this is what I'm going to use obviously to execute the trades or to demonstrate how you can take your trades using the trade bracket strategy. Right, all right, but before that, there's some technical tools that I will be using, so I want to go ahead and explain those tools. So this video right here may be a little bit lengthy compared to the ones that will come after. Okay, so bear with me. All right, so the tools that I'm talking about, so let me start with the position tools. Okay, so if you see up here, this is where I have my favorite tools. Okay, and as you can see, I have the long position tool added to my favorites and the short position tool. Okay, so let me start with the long. So remember, long means buy, short means sell, right? So let me start with the long position tool. So I just click on it and I click on the chart, so it will go ahead and add it to my chart. Okay, now this long position tool will be the tool that I will be using to measure my buy setups. Okay, remember we said we are only taking trades that are at least a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. Okay, so if I go ahead and drag, okay, this green part right here, so I want you to keep your eyes where it says risk stroke reward ratio, and right now it says 1. All right, but if I drag this green part right here, so if I keep adjusting it up, you can see the figures keep changing. All right, they keep changing. All right, so the green part just represents the take profit or the target. Okay, and the red part represents the stop loss or the stop. Right, I can go ahead and also drag the stop part. Okay, and as you can see, the figures keep adjusting as well. Right, so this right here will be interpreted as a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 3.65. So if I keep changing, you can see, keeps going up. So now it's a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 5.07, okay, and so on and so on. Okay, so these tools right here will be the tools that I'll be measuring my setups before I take the trades, because we only want to take setups that are at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Okay, all right, so now let me go ahead and delete that. So if I have it clicked, I can just go ahead and just click this icon right here that says remove, right, and that will remove it. Okay, so next let me talk about the short position tool. Okay, it's the same but in opposite, right? So this right here will be used to measure my sell setups. Okay, I want to make sure before I take the sell setups, the risk to reward ratio right here is at least a 1 to 2, and as you can see right now, okay, if we go with what is printed on right now, so this right here will be a 1 to 2.23 risk to reward ratio. I can keep adjusting it, so I can keep adjusting it, and you know, the numbers keep adjusting as well. All right, so those are some of the tools that I'll be using, so I'll go ahead and delete that. So next let me talk about how you can mark your highs and lows. Okay, so if you're a beginner and you're having trouble marking your highs and lows in a trend, okay, you could use an indicator, right? So let me show you the indicator that you could use. Okay, so you just go right here, it says indicators, okay, and click on that, and then you can go ahead and type the moving average. So the indicator we're looking for is the moving average convergence divergence, or the MACD indicator, right? So if I go ahead and click on it, it will add it to the bottom of the chart. All right, so what I want you to do is go ahead and click on it, then go to settings, all right, and turn off all the other lines. So turn off the MACD line, the signal line, the zero line, all right, then leave on the histogram part. Okay, but the histogram part, I want you to change the pairs of the colors to the same color. Okay, what I mean by that, so color 0 and color 1 will be the same color, color 2 and color 3 will also be the same color. So I'll go ahead and just change this to green. All right, so let me change this to green as well. So those are matching right now, so let me also go change this to red and change this to red. Okay, so those are the adjustments that you will make on the indicator, right? And let me explain really quick what the MACD indicator is all about. Okay, so the MACD has a middle line right here, all right, and when price is going up, okay, it will show in green. Okay, when price is going down, or when price is below the middle line, it will show in red. All right, so now let me go to a lower time frame. Let me go to a lower time frame now. So let me go to the 15-minute time frame. And like I said, if you're having trouble marking your highs and lows in the trend, okay, most especially if you're beginning out, okay, sometimes it's very hard, right? This is an indicator that you could use. Okay, so now let me go ahead and get my cross. All right, and I want you to pay, because remember we said, okay, when price is going up, because this right here is a downtrend, as you can see price is going down. All right, when price is going down, it will be making the structure points of a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You remember that? Okay, we talked about that. Okay, but remember, for this strategy, if price is going down, we're only interested in the lower highs. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete this arrow right here, and I'll show you what I was talking about. So as you can see, if I highlight so this right here will be considered to be a lower high. Okay, and as you can see, this green part, when price is above the middle line, okay, it's green on the MACD. Okay, so price was going up, so this right here is a lower high. Okay, same thing where it says green on the MACD right here. Okay, this right here will be a lower high. Same thing where it says green. Okay, this part right here will be a lower high. Okay, so this indicator is something that you could use if you're finding trouble in identifying your lows and highs in the trend. Okay, so now let's look at an uptrend. Okay, and as you can see, this part right here, price was going up. Okay, so this right here will be considered to be an uptrend. Okay, and what did we say about an uptrend? So in an uptrend, price will be making higher lows and higher highs. Okay, but for this strategy, we shall only be interested in the higher lows. Okay, so let me go ahead and highlight the point. So as you can see, where it's red now, okay, where it's red, price was below the middle line. Okay, this right here will be considered to be a higher low. Okay, same thing. Okay, where it says red. Okay, this right here will be considered to be a higher low. Okay, same thing, where it says red, this right here will be considered to be a higher low. So for those people that are having trouble identifying the highs and lows in the trend, you could go ahead and use this indicator, right? However, guys, okay, every indicator lags behind price. Okay, so what that means, it waits for price to print, or it waits for price to move, and it follows. That means it's always behind price. Okay, and what that will give you, it will miss out some points. Okay, so it may not draw some points accurately, or miss them out, miss them out. All right, so you may not just print some points, so it's not very accurate. It's not the most accurate way that you can use. Okay, if you wanna, the advice I give you is, if you're finding trouble drawing your highs and lows in the trend, okay, just go ahead and spend more time. Okay, it comes with time. The more experience you put in the charts, the more you will learn how to draw your highs and lows. So put in the time on the chart, you will wrap your head around it. Okay, and let me go ahead and delete this indicator, right, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so if I get my path tool right here, so for example, for this downtrend, okay, so price was up here. Okay, started from up here. Okay, it made a push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back, or impulsive move, retracement, impulsive move, and so on and so on. Okay, so as you can see, I just used my eyes to go ahead. Let me go ahead and just bring back the arrow. So I just use my eyes to draw the structure points. Okay, and that's what I was saying, the best way that you could actually, find, you can actually learn how to draw these structure points is by putting in the time on the charts. It comes with time. Okay, the more time you spend on your chart, the more easier it will get for you to draw this structure points. Okay, and like as we said, remember when we were talking about a downtrend, what did we say? We say price will make a push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. Okay, push. Remember, we also talked about, so it will be making a push, pull back, push. So this right here will be a break. Okay, so this right here will be a break. Okay, same thing. Push, pull back, push. So this right here will be a break. Okay, same thing right here. This right here will be a break. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, that means you didn't watch the very first video I did. Okay, I have a video before I made this one right here. Okay, so I have a presentation video that I go about each and everything that I'm talking about here. Okay, so if you don't understand this, go back and watch that video first. Okay, like I said, so push, pull back, push, have a break. So this right here will be our lower high. This right here will be our lower low. This right here will be our lower high. This right here will be our lower low. Okay, same thing with an uptrend. Same thing, you could just use your eyes and go ahead and just draw it. Okay, just take time and put in the time. You will learn how to use your eyes and draw the structure points. All right, rather than relying on indicators. Okay, because like I say, they lag, so they might miss out some points or not even print out some points at all. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and delete this because I'm done explaining. So let me go ahead and delete that, delete this as well. Okay, so let me talk about the next thing I want to talk about. So the next thing I want to talk about is alerts. Okay, so how do we add alerts on our chart? Okay, as you can see right here, this clock looking like icon, when I hover over it, it says alerts. Okay, so if I go ahead and click the icon, it will pull up this menu. All right, so I could go ahead and click create alert. Okay, so if I click create alert, it will pull up a window. Okay, and this right here is where I can make my adjustments. Okay, so as you can see, it pulls up on the pair that you're currently watching. So currently I'm on the Euro JPY, and as you can see right there, it says the Euro JPY. Okay, and the condition I want to be monitoring is price. Okay, so next is, so this right here is how will you receive the notification. Okay, and as you can see, there's so many options here, right? As you can see, the first one says crossing. Okay, so what this means is when price crosses the alert, that's when you will receive the notification. So this right here is general, because you can see the next two say crossing up and crossing down. So crossing up will mean you will receive the notification when price is crossing up the alert line. All right, and the next one, crossing down, means you will receive the notification when price crosses from down. Okay, crosses the alert from as it's moving down, right? That's what this means right here. Okay, and so many other options. Okay, so you could go in and just experiment with these other options. All right, so you can leave it to general. Okay, crossing. All right, or you could go and change it to the specific. So crossing up will be the one we want to use for the buy setups, and crossing down will be the one we want to use for the sell setups, like I'll show you later on. All right, so next we have the value right here. So the value, this represents the value of price. Okay, so if you want to put your alert line to a specific value of price, so you could go in here and adjust the value. All right, the next is the trigger. All right, as you can see right there, next is the trigger. So do you want to receive the notification only once or every time? Okay, so only once is perfectly fine, right? Because when you choose every time, I don't want price to cross my alert line and then it comes back again. No, I want to receive it only once. All right, the next we have the expiration. Okay, this is how long your alert line will remain on your charts before it's triggered. Okay, and they could give you to up to a month. All right, as you can see, today is the 30th of October, so they can give me up to 29th. Okay, so you can keep it on your charts for only a month maximum. All right, so you could go in if you want it for a day, so you just select 30th to 31st. All right, so now next let's go to message. All right, so the message, so you can give your alert a name. All right, so I can go in and just call this maybe Euro something. All right, but I'm not gonna do that. Next thing, you could put here a message that you want to be in the notification, so you could go in here and customize the message. All right, the next, one of the most important tabs is this right here. Okay, and as you can see, the first option says notify in app. Okay, so trading view has a mobile app. You can go ahead and download the mobile app on your phone. All right, so you use the same credentials that you used for this online the online version. All right, so whenever you set an alert, okay, they will send a notification. If you have this checked, okay, they will send a notification to your mobile app. Okay, as soon as price crosses your alert, right, or triggers your alert, so you will receive a notification to your mobile application. Okay, which is very awesome. All right, and next, what I want to show you, they can also send you a notification to your email address. Okay, so the same email address that you use to register for this account will be the one that we use to send the notifications, right? So this right here is very important. Okay, the rest you could go in and experiment them on your own. Okay, but the most important ones is how they will send the notification. As you can see, they can send notifications through email and to your mobile app. Okay, so if I'm done making the settings, I can just go ahead and click create. Okay, and it will create the alert. Okay, as you can see, I could just go ahead. So remember the option where it says you can input the value of price. Okay, so I can skip that because I can go in and just hold and drag it to the point of price that I want. Okay, so I can just go in and just drag it. Okay, keep dragging it to the point where I want my alert to be placed on the chart. Okay, and if you want to delete that, you just click right here. Okay, this right here will delete the alert, right? All right, so now next let me talk about the order ticket. Okay, so the order ticket will be the way that we shall be placing our pending orders. Okay, remember we said we want to use pending orders, and the pending orders that we shall be using for this strategy will be the buy limit and the sell limit. So the limit orders, right? So if you go ahead and just right click on the chart, you see they have an option right here where it says add order. All right, so I can go ahead and just click on add order right here. All right, so it will pull up this order ticket. All right, so guys, I have a free course on my YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel. Okay, a free course that's dedicated to beginners. Okay, so it's a basic beginner forex trading course. Okay, in that course there is a lesson that I go about each and everything contained on this order ticket. Okay, so if you're finding trouble understanding whatever's going on here on this order ticket, go ahead and look for that lesson. I think the title of the lesson is how to read the forex chart. All right, so now, because I'm not going to be explaining most of the things here, I'm just going to show you how you can place your limit orders. Okay, so how you place your limit orders. So if you want to place a buy limit, okay, you just go ahead and click buy where it says buy. So let's say it was in sell, you just go ahead and click buy. Okay, then let's say it was right here where the market orders are, you go ahead and just select limit. Okay, so you click buy limit and then click buy, right? So this right here will place a buy limit. If you want to place a sell limit, go ahead and click sell, then click limit, then click sell. All right, so when it's placed on the chart, this is how it will look like. Okay, so it will have a take profit and a stop loss. Okay, so you can just go ahead and just drag this. Okay, so I can go ahead and drag my take profit up there, then my stop loss down here. All right, so now I think I've said everything I wanted to say prior to me showing you the trade bracket strategy. So now let me go ahead and just delete this, and then let's look for some setups. Okay, all right, so now let me start on the AUD, the Australian dollar against the USD. Okay, the AUD USD pair. All right, and if you recall, guys, the very first step of the strategy, we want to start on a higher time frame, guys. Okay, that's the very first step, and the reason why we start on the higher time frame is because we want to know our directional bias. Okay, and as you can see, if I can mark here, because I already seen something right here, so there was a push, pull back, push. Okay, so let me pause right there. Okay, so this push right here caused this break. Okay, there was this break right here. All right, you can see it, right? So remember, step one, we want to start on a higher time frame, and the reason why we start on a higher time frame is because we want to know the directional bias of the market. And as you can see right here, this right here, so then we want to start on a higher time frame. Then step two, okay, we want to look for a break of a high or a low on a higher time frame, which we got right here. Okay, so this right here was a break of a high. So this right here confirms our bias to be a buy. So this way, this market is going up, or a buying market, or a bullish market. So we want to be looking for buys. Okay, so if I can refresh your mind, so this right here, as soon as we got the break, this right here will be our higher low, and this right here will be our higher high. So the break of the higher high is what confirmed our bias to being a bullish market or a buying market. All right, so now let me go ahead and delete this. All right, so let me zoom in. All right, so we got our break right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually label this as break. Okay, so we got a break. So step 3, we want to go on a lower time frame, because remember, price made a push, pullback, push to break. So the next move will be a pullback, and the next move will be a push. Okay, so we want to mark this pullback on a lower time frame. Okay, remember that. Okay, step 3 is we mark the market structure as price is pulling back. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and delete this and go to a lower time frame. And the lower so we say the higher time frame you want to start in is the 4-hour, or the daily, or the weekly, or above. Okay, but remember, the higher time frame you choose, okay, so let's say you chose the daily, okay, you would, or the weekly, okay, higher than the 4-hour, okay, you will wait for more time for these setups to form. Okay, so if you go to the daily time frame, okay, this setup right here will take some time to form. Okay, so starting on the 4-hour is perfectly fine, right? All right, so now let me go to the 15-minute time frame, and I mark my market structure as price is pulling back. Okay, so let me go back. So this strategy right here, so this right here is like back testing. So this right here is in hindsight, because it already happened. That's the beauty of this. Okay, so before you actually execute this strategy on your live account, okay, so guys, just go in there and do the back testing on your own, okay, until you master everything, and then you can go to a live account. So don't just jump from this video to your live account. No, first do the back testing on your own. So make sure you master how the strategy moves, then go to your live account. All right, so now I'm going back in time because I wanna find where I marked. So right here is where we marked. Okay, so let me adjust this right here. Okay, remember we marked this this market structure on the 4-hour. Okay, and then we came to the lower time frame, which was the 15-minute, to mark our pullback, guys. Okay, we want to mark the market structure as price is pulling back, which is step 3. Okay, now I want you to be very careful. Okay, this right here, this pullback doesn't mean that price is in a downtrend. Okay, it will have the same characteristics of a downtrend, which are the push, pullback, push, and it will be making the lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. But this does not mean the price has changed its bias. Okay, the bias is still buy. We want to look for buys. Okay, the only reason why this is a downtrend, because that's the next step of price. Because remember, price pushed, now it has to pull back. Okay, this does not mean that this is a downtrend. No, it's just pulling back, and when price is pulling back, okay, that is how it moves. Okay, it will make those the structure points, it will make the same structure points as those of a downtrend. Okay, this does not mean that this is a downtrend. Okay, hope you understood that. Okay, all right, so now, so we on a lower time frame, so I want to mark my market structure. Okay, so price was right here. Okay, so it made a push, pull back, push, pull back, push. Okay, and it stopped right here. Okay, so let me pull it to the side a little bit. okay, because I wanna show you. That's the reason why you need to learn how to draw your market structure, guys, but just using your eyes. So I just went ahead and used my eyes, guys. Okay, it comes with time, but if you put in the time, guys, trust me, you will learn how to draw this very easily. All right, and as you can see, this right here is a break. Okay, and this right here is a break. Okay, so I can go in and just maybe change it. I'll just place a B. Oh, sorry about that, I didn't want to do that. So let me go and put the letter B, all right, to represent break. Okay, then I'll go ahead and also turn this. So let me move this to the side and highlight this. Also, I don't know why it keeps doing that. So I'll go ahead and just put a B right there. Okay, and then bring it back to the position it was. Okay, so we got our breaks right here. So this right here will be our lower high. Okay, this right here will be our lower low. Okay, so I don't want to do it again, so I'm just gonna control C, copy and paste. Okay, control C, control V. All right, control C, control V. All right, so there you go. So this right here will be our lower high. Control C, control V. So it will be our lower low, guys. Okay, as you can see, guys, I just used my eyes and went ahead and just marked my structure points. Okay, so if I can put them back on the chart, this right here will be our lower high, this right here will be our lower low, this right here will be our break, this right here lower low, this lower high, this break. Okay, hope you got that, guys. So let me go ahead and delete this. Okay, so I just used my eyes and went ahead and just marked the structure, which is step 3 of the strategy. Okay, so now let me before because now the next step, now we want to look for a break of the break of the lower high. Okay, or the break. So the structure, the strategy says step 4, then look for a break of a high or low. Okay, and since this is a buy setup, we want to look for a break of a lower high. Okay, and this is where you use a lot. Okay, and before I do that, let me show you something. So let me go ahead and delete this. Okay, hope you memorize this. Like I said, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, that means you didn't watch the first video that I made in the presentation. Okay, so you need to watch the very first video before coming to the charts. Okay, I explained the strategy on the presentation. Okay, all right, so now let me go ahead and delete this, because I'm gonna be adding tools that will make the chart very crowded and untidy. So let me go ahead and delete this. All right, go ahead and delete that. Go ahead and delete this, and then maximize the space. Okay, so let's get some more space on the chart. Okay, now I want to add something called the session breaks. All right, so let me go into my settings and add session breaks. Okay, so session breaks will be our period separators. Okay, so you see these white vertical lines, guys. Okay, these white vertical lines, these right here represent the period of time. Okay, and if you see, if I go ahead and highlight on this white vertical line, as you can see below, it says 4th September 2025. Okay, then if I go up to here, it says 7th September, or it says 5th. Okay, so this right here is up to 5th. Okay, so this right here is a whole day, guys. Okay, a whole day. Okay, so next, this right here will be 8th. Okay, this right here will be 9th. Okay, so from here to here is a whole day, and from here to here is a whole day. All right, and the point that I'm driving at, remember we said we want to be using alerts. Okay, and what I said is you can check your charts in time intervals. Okay, because you don't want to be staring on your charts. Okay, as you can see. So let me just show you something. So this right here was the last lower high. Okay, so the trade the trend started all the way from up here. So let me get my cross. So the trend started all the way from up here. It was 5th September 2025, and it says 14, which is 2 p.m. Okay, and we got a break on 8th September 2025, 1:45. All right, so like I said, guys, this right here takes time. Okay, so you don't want to be on your charts the whole day, because as you can see right here, this right here took time until you got the structure itself. Takes time to form, and the break also takes time. All right, so you don't want to be sitting on your charts. This is not a 9 to 5, guys. Okay, we all join trading because we want our time back, our freedom back. So I don't want to be on the charts the whole day waiting for these breaks and structures to form. Okay, so the hack that we're going to use is, we want to be using alerts. Okay, we want to be using alerts. But before that, remember I said you want to get a time interval at which you will be checking your charts. Okay, so let's say you want to be checking your charts after every 6 hours. Okay, so as soon as you got a break on a higher time frame, now you want to mark your pullback, but you're going to be checking your charts in a time interval, let's say of 6 hours. So you could go ahead and select any interval. Okay, you could choose 3, you could choose 5 hours, you could choose 7, whatever you want. Okay, the whole point is I don't want you to be sitting on your charts the whole day, guys, just waiting for all this to form, because it takes time, as you saw right there. From this right here to this right here took some time to form. Okay, so what you want to be, what I was saying is, you can select a time interval. You can say I want to be checking my charts after every 6 hours. Okay, so let's say you check your chart after 6 hours and price was right here. Okay, so until this point, okay, the only lower high that would have been formed could have been this right here. Okay, so what would you do? You will go ahead and add your alert to this point. Okay, then you go ahead and close your chat, you close your computer, you put away your phone and go do something else. Okay, so let's say you came back. So let's say, like we said, price was right here. Okay, so we expected price to come back. Okay, hit our alert so that we get a notification and come back, because as soon as it hits our notification, we know our strategy is in play. Okay, but it did not. Okay, what did it do? It created another lower high and then pushed down. All right, so let's say after another 6 hours, you come back to the chart. Okay, so it didn't hit your alert. Instead, it went ahead and created another lower high. So what you want to do at that point is, you want to delete this alert and place your alert right here. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Okay, so like I said, I already showed you this. So you just click alert, create alert, click create. All right, so it will add it on my chart, as you can see right there. So I'll place this alert on this last lower high. Okay, now remember that this is, you need to pay attention, guys. Okay, because what I'm gonna explain, if you don't put this in perspective, guys, the strategy won't work. Okay, now remember, at this point, okay, we are at step 4. Okay, so we are looking for a break of the low or high, and in this case it will be a lower high. Okay, and as you can see, this candle right here hit the alert, because the alert is the white line. Okay, it hit the alert line and then went back and closed down below. So this right here is not a break, guys. Let me hope you understand what wicks and the body of a candle is. So let's say for example, this candle right here. Okay, so this thing that you see coming out of the candle, so these two things, okay, at the bottom and on the top, okay, these things right here, these are called wicks of a candle. And the shaded part that you see, this is the body of the candle. Okay, and as you can see, guys, price just wicked. Okay, just wicked. Okay, our lower high point, and then came back and closed below. So this right here won't be considered as a break. This is not a break. Okay, a break would be this candle right here. So it broke the lower high with this candle right here. As you can see, this candle right here closed above this lower high point. This, guys, this is very, very important. You need to know whether it broke that point. Okay, this right here is not a break. It just wicked, came back and closed below. But this right here is a break because the body of the candle closed above the lower high. But remember, guys, so we would have set our alert right here. So this alone right here, this wicking and coming back, this right here would have triggered our alert. But when you come back to your chart, the very first thing you want to pay attention to, did it close above this point? If it did not, so you will remove this alert and then set it again. Okay, and until this point, still this was the only lower high, so you will set it again on this lower high. Okay, and price moved a little bit down. Okay, and then it came back and broke it, so you will receive another alert as soon as it breaks it right here for real. So this break right here is the one for real. Okay, so you will receive the alert right here. So when you come back to your chart, you will check and you confirm that this right here was a real break. This right here was a false break, and this right here is a real break. Okay, all right. So with that being said, so what I'll go ahead and do, so as soon as you get the alert, you go the one that broke it for real, the real break, so you go ahead and delete your alert because you don't need it anymore. All right, so go ahead and delete that. And the last step is I'll draw my trade bracket. Okay, so let me minimize this again. And remember, guys, the trade bracket, so I'm just using this rectangular tool right here. Okay, so I added it to my favorites. Okay, you could go in here and look for the shapes. Okay, the shapes are one of these. Right, let me see the shapes of one of these. So right here. Okay, so it's among this group right here. As you can see, I went ahead and added the rectangle to my favorite. So you go to this group right here, you will find the shapes. Okay, so this left panel right here has so many categories of tools. Okay, all right, so now last step, I got my break. So what we want to do now is draw the trade bracket. And as we say, the trade bracket gives you two things. It will give you your entry and your exit. Okay, that's what it gives you. All right, so go ahead, and there are two ways to draw it. Okay, so let me draw it first and then go about it again. But I did explain this in the presentation, but I'm gonna do it again. All right, so let me move this. So remember, this right here was our last lower high, so we could draw the trade bracket from the last lower high to the last, from the last lower high to be broken to the last lower low to be made. So this right here would have been our last lower low to be made. This right here is not a lower low. Okay, but this right here to have qualified to be a lower low, price should have pushed up, and then price should have retraced back or pulled back, then pushed again to break it. That's the only time it would have qualified to be a lower low, but it's not. Right, so like I say, guys, you could draw your trade bracket in two ways. Okay, you could draw it from the last lower high to be broken to the last lower low to be made. So let me just go ahead and just label this. So this right here will be our trade bracket. All right, so here is our trade bracket. Okay, so that's the first way. Last lower high to be broken to the last lower low to be made, or you could draw it from the last lower high to be broken to the last point price reached. Okay, but remember the advantages and disadvantages to both. Okay, if you go with the first one, where the last lower high to be broken to the last lower low to be made, you will have a higher risk to reward, like I'm going to show you. As a matter of fact, let me put now my, because now this will be the next step. Okay, so the next step will be, I want to measure this trade to know, is it worth it for me to actually take? Okay, as soon as I get the break, I draw my trade bracket. Next step is I want to get my measuring tool that I showed you in the beginning. Okay, and since this is a buy setup, I want to get my long position. Okay, so let's say I drew my trade bracket to the last lower high to be broken to the last lower low to be made. So I'll just put my tool right here. So I want to measure now. Okay, I want to measure and make sure that this setup right here is at least a 1 to 2. Okay, so let me go ahead and drag it to that point. Okay, Remember, we exit our trades from where the trend started. Okay, so this right here will be our exit, right? And as you can see, this right here has a risk to reward ratio of 4. So this right here is more than what we are looking for, because remember, we're looking for at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So this right here says 4. Okay, so and this is what I was trying to explain to you. So if I draw it from the last lower high to be broken to the last lower low to be made, it will have a higher risk to reward. Okay, so that means you will make more money on this trade, but the chances of the trade, so let me move this to the side, the chances of the trade of moving up, coming back, taking you out of the trade, and then continuing in your direction will also be high. Okay, remember that I did explain that. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete that and then show you where I draw the trade bracket to the last point price reached. Okay, so as you can see, if I draw it to the last low high to be broken to the last point price reached, so let me adjust this. So like I said, the trade bracket gives you 2 points. It will give you your entry, so your entry will be on this lower high, and your exit will be whatever you choose. In this case, you could choose the lower low or the last point price reached. And as you can see, if I adjust it to the lower point price reached, our risk to reward ratio goes down. So now it's a 2.51. So this trade right here will be a 1 to 2, a 1 to 2.51 risk to reward ratio. So our risk to reward ratio went down. That means we'll make less money, but like I said, okay, chances of price coming from all the way here, okay, and taking you out, okay, will be limited, guys. Okay, will be limited, because if it breaks this point, that means it's still making now new structure points. Okay, that's what it means. So chances of price coming back here and taking you out and going in your direction will also be very minimal or less. All right, so let me explain this. Let me wrap it up now. Like I said, our trade bracket gives us 2 things. Okay, it gives us our entry, so we want to enter on this top line. So let me get rid of this measure, because I already measured this. Okay, already measured this, and you know, we confirmed that this is at least a 1 to 2. So let me go ahead and just delete that. Like I said, our trade bracket will give you our entry, so we will be entered as soon as price. So now this time the week qualifies. Okay, so price broke it, went ahead, price broke our lower high at this point. Okay, so so as soon as we get the break, we will get an alert. So we come back now to the chart. Okay, so when we come back to the chart, what we want to do, we want to place our limit order, and in this case it will be a buy limit. So we should go ahead and add the ticket like I showed you guys. So I'll go ahead, click buy, click limit, okay, and then click buy right here. All right, so after that, I'll come and adjust this. Okay, I'll just adjust this to here, put my stop loss down here, okay, and put my TP up here, because I already confirmed this is a perfect trade. Okay, it gives me at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Okay, this is what I was trying to explain. I was trying to explain that as soon as so the week is perfectly fine in this case. Okay, because when you place your pending order, your buy limit order right here, as soon as you get the week, your order will be triggered. But it's okay, because when you place your pending order, you won't be on your charts again. Remember, we place our pending order. As soon as we place our pending order, we just leave the charts and go do something else and leave price to play. All right, and as you can see, this week right here would have triggered your pending order. So price came a little bit down, came a little bit up, so it kept on dancing, came a little bit down, then it pushed all the way up to our take profit. Okay, so let me go about the steps before I close this video. Okay, so we started on a higher time frame, which was the first step. Start on a higher time frame, because we want to know the directional bias of the market. Okay, and what are we looking for on a higher time frame, which is the 4-hour? The break of a high or low. So we got a break of a high. Okay, so that confirmed to us that price wants to go up. Okay, then we went ahead to a lower time frame. Okay, so we went to the 50-minute and marked our market structure. Okay, and we used alerts, okay, so that we get notifications whenever price breaks the last the last low, which was the last lower high in this case, because this is a buy setup. Okay, and I want you to be careful. I say you want to get a break of that point, not a false break where price just wicks and comes back. You want to get the break. Okay, so as soon as you get the break, you will receive a notification on your phone or to your email. Then you come back to the chart. Okay, so you open the charts again. Next thing you want to measure. Okay, as soon as you get the break, okay, you want to draw your trade bracket, then measure that trade. Is it worth it? Is it at least a 1 to 2? Okay, so if you measure and confirm that it's a 1 to 2, okay, the next thing you want to do is place your pending order. Okay, and then close your chart. Okay, don't stay on your chart, go do something else. Okay, and as you can see, as soon as it hits your pending order, okay, this trade right here will be triggered. Okay, and you just let it run. Okay, so the two outcomes, you can either lose or win. All right, so you just close your chart and go do something else. Okay, all right, so I said everything I wanted to say, and I'll see you in another one. Bye.